You've got medical questions, we've got answers. It's time for the segment we like to call Ask the Doctors. And this first question comes from Michelle on YouTube. She writes, I was told the BMI chart is somewhat inaccurate as it doesn't take into account muscle mass, which is heavier than fat and many other factors. Is there any other weight maintaining, losing test out there that is more accurate? And this is a very astute observation. Because the BMI, body mass index, is, look, it's still used, but it's not the end-all be-all. And it's just interesting that she asked this question because there's a period of time where I was considered overweight because I had a fair amount of muscle mass. Yeah. And you know, a better thing to use if you're tracking at home, obviously you want to know what your weight is. It's worthwhile to know what your BMI, but a measuring tape. Because if you measure your waist, you can actually get a good indication of the amount of abdominal fat. And that abdominal visceral fat is what's really dangerous, what you need to worry about. In general, we say women are at risk if their waist is greater than 35 inches. For men, it's 40. But another cool little trick is we've learned that your waist should ideally be less than half of your height in inches.
That's a good trick.
Which is pretty easy calculation to make. But being aware of that, I mean, I'll tell you, heart disease, #1 killer of men and women, right? Yeah. And in one study, women whose waists were over 35 inches double the risk of cardiac disease from those with less than 28-inch waists. I mean, that says it all right there.
Another way to test is the pinch test. You can use your fingers or you can use calipers and actually measure the amount of abdominal fat, subcutaneous fat. That's one way to do it.
And I love that you were talking about measuring your waist because it really does matter how you carry that adipose tissue, like where it is, as far as what your potential risk factors are for certain disease processes.
When you think about these measurements, and let's just say your doctor's office doesn't necessarily do them, that doesn't make them any less important. Or you can talk to your doctor about, hey, you know, can we keep monitoring this every time I come in?